Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero. We are back again talking about Sweet Baby Inc. redesigning its website, removing its client and game list, as well as hiding its obvious woke agenda. That's right, the studio that wokeifies your games does things like make a Norse god in God of War Ragnarok black, a studio that makes Peter Parker retire in Spider-Man 2, being in his early or late 20s, for the obvious race insert of Miles Morales, who's Miles Morales. The same company that tells you should terrify game designers until they give you what you want is trying to hide their client and game list as well as their woke agenda. Now this comes to us, of course, from That Park Place saying, Sweet Baby Inc. redesigns its website to remove client and game list as well as hide its woke agenda. Sweet Baby Inc. redesigned its website to remove its client and game list in an apparent attempt to hide its woke agenda to potential clients. Now, of course, Square Enix did drop this company, which, well, they're still censoring Dragon Age 3 HD 2D Remake, so it's very obvious that they probably went with a different company, or they stuck with it even though they've left their list. The website previously made it abundantly clear the company was attempting to inject woke ideology into video games with an About Us section that declared, our mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry. Yes, like making an obvious race swap of something that absolutely makes no sense when it comes to Norse mythology and God of War Ragnarok, turning a Norse god black. That makes absolutely no sense to Norse mythology. We aim to make games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive for everyone. Yeah, more inclusive for everyone except white people. Congratulations. It also featured an outreach section that stated, quote, new and marginalized talent can change this industry if given the proper support. We want to provide this through our outreach program. So yes, diversity for diversity's sake, not diversity of thought. That's just put people in power of, put people who don't really have talent, they just look a certain way, and we're just going to put them in there just because they're a certain color, not because they're actually talented. It also listed the various projects that the company had worked on, including Alan Wake 2, which still hasn't turned a profit, but for some reason could come out with a DLC, Sable, Battle Shapers, Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok, and Usual June. While these were the featured games, you could navigate to the site's projects, quote-unquote, page and discover more of the company's games like this game, Delete the Justice League, The Crew Motorfest, South of Midnight, Capes, and more. Furthermore, the company also shared a client list that included Xbox Game Studios, Electronic Arts, Valve, True Love, Santa Monica Studios, 2K, Ubisoft, Square Enix, who's no longer on that list, Warner Brothers Games, Finji, Polytron, Rocksteady, Co-op Shedworks, which Rocksteady is working on a new Batman Arkham game that's doomed to flop in my opinion because this game was an obvious flop. Compulsion Games, Metric Empire, Chance Agency, Avalanche Studio Group, Deck 9, Brass Line Entertainment, Wizards of the Coast, People Can Fly, Echo Software, Juvie Productions, Glitch Games, Remedy, Panic, Raw Fury, and Fellow Traveler. You can see the list here, which basically all the games that these studios have come out with have all flopped. These sections have been removed and replaced. Now the company describes itself as an award-winning team of writers and narrative designers to help make stories better. No, you're not helping to make stories better. You're helping to make studios close down and for studios to flop, or to have flops. With over 30 games shipped from AAA, indie, and solo developers, I doubt solo developers and indie developers really have money to be spending on your garbage consultancy. We are not just contractors. We are storytellers who can take your project to the next level of flopping. It then lists the various services it provides, including script writing, consultation, authenticity, and sensitivity. Yeah, authentically terrible. Under script writing, it states, we work within scope to cover all your script writing needs, from cinematics to dialogue and making it trash, to naming 500 pieces of armor. We know every word counts. For consultation, the company wrote, no matter the stage of production, we can strengthen story pitches, world building, and character development needs, and other narrative design demands, like making Mary Jane OP, like making Spider-Man B-word, and making Miles Morales the center of your next game. So finally, for authenticity and sensitivity, it states, we approach sensitivity by working with your existing narrative and documentation to bring out its natural authenticity and emotional resonance. We don't look for red flags, we highlight green ones. By, again, doing this. This game flopped. I don't know why you didn't just keep Alan Wake and Alan Wake 2 as your main character. The site then lists a number of featured games the company worked on, includes God of War Ragnarok, Battle Shapers, Sable, the Delete the Justice League, The Crew Motorfest, and Afterfove EP. Finally, it features a new outreach and workshop section that states, quote, "Our experienced team of trash writers and trash narrative designers are ready and available to provide workshops, talks, and general insight to your team to terrify you. Let us show how we dig beneath the narrative surface." This site redesign comes in the wake of Square Enix removing Sweet Baby Inc. removing Square Enix and Nereo and its subsidiary of Devolver Digital from its client list. The company provided no explanation as to why these two developers were removed. However, an investor for Square Enix did question the company's relationship with Sweet Baby Inc. back in June. As reported by ex-user Mitch Suzu, the investor questioned, quote, "I'm personally happy about the shift from quantity to quality. I hope good titles will come out in the future. I'm concerned about the Canadian consulting company Sweet Baby. Square Enix is listed as a client, but is there any transaction there? What kind of transaction is it? Will they continue to do so in the future? I absolutely hope not, because Square Enix doesn't need a consultancy company for having very many successful franchises, including Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, Dragon Quest, and so on and so forth. I don't understand why they would need a consultancy company when they've had titles for years that have been successful, and successful as they have been. Why would a Japanese company that's basically giving the customer what they want, why would they use Sweet Baby Inc. whatsoever? It's a trash consultancy company that does nothing but ruin games. They're not real gamers. Square Enix President Takashi Kiryu responded, quote, "I would like to refrain from making specific comments about individual clients as we shift from quantity to quality. Providing content that is enjoyable and safe for our customers is also part of what makes a product fun. We will do our best as creators." And also, they made Bahamut gay in Final Fantasy 16, which was stupid. The redesign comes in the wake of Sweet Baby Inc. employee Cameron Wild's presentation at the Game Developers of Color Expo being highlighted by YouTuber Kirsch. In the presentation, Wild shared a slide titled, "Cool, so why am I here?" One of the bullet points states, "Burning the games industry to the ground." Literally, it says it. Just so we're clear, it says it there. I want to see if I can zoom in so you guys can literally see it says that. Right there. In the next slide titled, "So why am I still here?" one of the bullet points states, "To prove that space where whiteness doesn't have to live is where some of the best stories are told. Majority of gamers are straight white males, you ugly piece of garbage." Wild explained, "A lot of us who are really fighting for more inclusive games, so make your own games. Simple. And storytelling don't have a choice when it comes to discomfort. A lot of us who are just existing don't have a choice. You have a choice to not be a nuisance and to not be so annoying, trying to include people while excluding other people. Because that's what you're really doing. Which makes this really hard often. But recently I started realizing that discomfort, or the place where whiteness doesn't have to live, is where some of the best stories are told. Yes, Eastern games are better than Western games. We don't need garbage people like you who are not real gamers, who don't game, who don't know anything about storytelling or gaming in general in this space. You should be gone and go somewhere else. Or if, at the very least, go make your little garbage mobile games. That's where a lot of games go to die. And it's where genre storytelling lives. The redesign also comes after a former Sweet Baby Inc. employee, Kazuma Hashimoto, a woman pretending to be a man, revealed in a Twitch stream discovered by YouTuber SmashJT, shout out to SmashJT, that developers were no longer interested in working with individuals who worked for Sweet Baby Inc. She said, quote, "There are definitely jobs that I've had where like people have seen like the fact that I worked with Sweet Baby, and it's been a year since I worked with them, and it's just like a contractual basis when I was so just like periodically for like a couple of years." Ugh, God, learn how to better sentence structure, like learn how to speak using other words. People will literally be like, "Hey, are we going to get harassed for hiring you?" And I think that really sucks, he said. Well, Sweet Baby Inc. sucks. That instead of like, we'll protect our employee, the employer, or the potential person giving you the contract, we'll be more concerned about that than protecting their employees, kind of effed up. Interestingly, Kim Belair recently claimed that business was normal for the company during an interview with Black Girl Gamers on YouTube. She said the backlash against her company doesn't materially affect our work. It absolutely does. Your work sucks. The vast majority of these companies already know what's going on and they still hire us. They know what we actually do. You don't really do anything but make games flop and make companies close. Like, let's ask Volition how the work on Saints Row did for their company. Oh yeah, the company went under after 30 years of being in business, of making great Saints Row games. And it doesn't necessarily change our baseline survival, which are little stupid pronouns because you're a clown. You don't even know honestly what gender you are. You have to put it out there like a clown. I don't understand why we have these consulting companies at all. They are useless, money sink, garbage companies that we do not need, especially for companies as big as Square Enix, as big as Bethesda, as big as, I don't know, Insomniac Games, Ubisoft, Valve. We don't need this garbage. We don't need it. People Can Fly need to honestly make a Bulletstorm 2. I don't understand why they haven't made a Bulletstorm 2 yet. Like, that game was fantastic, and then when they added in Duke Nukem as an extra DLC, and they recorded all new lines for it, it was absolutely hilarious. I think People Can Fly should have created Bulletstorm 2 because they left it open for a sequel. That game should have had a sequel. 2K? What do you need? You need consultancy for Borderlands? For basketball games? Like, what do you really need consultancy for? Why do you need consultancy for God of War? God of War has worked for a long time. The first 3 games were amazing. The original games will always be better than the reboots, in my opinion. I really hope the rumor of the God of War original games being remastered and coming to PC becomes a thing, because those games are far superior in combat, story, and everything else compared to the new games, honestly. We need to just get rid of these companies. They're all terrible. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit the like button. Comment below if you feel about all this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all that we get notifications anytime I post a new video. Go live on this channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.